Hey friends, I want to continue talking about coping versus escaping. And just to recap one statement from last week, healthy people learn how to cope. Unhealthy people only seek to escape when it comes to heavy emotions or serious amounts of stress. I want to use Psalm 3 as a template. And this is not like an easy 3-step guide, but there are some practical things that David experiences and he writes out in this psalm that's a good template for us to learn how to cope, especially if escape has been your natural go-to. I want to start out by pointing out that David was running from his son, not the first time his life was in jeopardy. And so very naturally, he's going to want to escape, get to a place of safety, and his mind would have naturally been prone to be driven to survival and not even taking time to think about what's happening in the moment. Much like many of us when we're dealing with heavy emotions, we're just drive to that escape, not take time to slow our brains down, to be still and to think about what's happening. But watch what he does. Verse 1, "O Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying of me, God will not deliver him." Now, I want to point out, David, his life was in jeopardy, but he still takes time to pray and to write down this prayer, acknowledging what's happening to him in the moment. Such an important step when we're talking about coping, because escape wants us to run away from that, but coping allows us to find the courage to be vulnerable and open with what's happening to us right now. So the next time you're thinking about just reaching for that food that just numbs your emotions, instead of doing that, take a minute, get away, and start writing out or start talking to somebody or praying, some way of verbalizing, some way of expressing what is happening to you right now. What are you feeling? What's the thing that you're trying to escape from? What are the memories that you're facing? He continues, "But you, O Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head. To the Lord I cry out, and he answers me from his holy hill." He goes on, it says, "I lie down and I sleep. I wake because the Lord sustains me. I will not fear the 10,000s drawn up against me on every side." So what's David doing? David is finding his place of safety. This is an important factor of coping as well. Finding that place of safety. You see, many times when we're coping, when we're escaping, I should say, a lot of times there's some dark memories, some pain that we've been through, and we don't want to face it because it reminds our body of what we experienced and it throws us into that fear and panic mode. But what I want to point out is, in many cases, we're no longer vulnerable to those things. Maybe you experienced hurt or abuse as a child, but you're not a child anymore. You're not vulnerable to that same level of hurt. But in your mind and your body, you might still remember those things and feel that vulnerability. So what David does, and what I want to encourage us to do, is to find that place of safety. One simple exercise that I like to encourage people to do is to close your eyes and don't just read this psalm, but experience it. He uses words like a shield around me. Picture God being that shield around me. See yourself as protected. And as you pray, what will happen is you'll have more courage to face those difficult memories or that stress because you've created a place in your mind and in your heart, in your spirit, where you know you're protected. And David did that, knowing his life was in jeopardy. He grabbed onto this image of God being his shield. And so finding a place of safety that allowed him to say, "I will lie down and sleep." Even though his life was in jeopardy, he still had enough peace that he could go to sleep and calm down his nervous response. You see, it's hard to sleep when you know your life's in jeopardy, but he said he could sleep because he found that place of safety. This is not a simple thing to do, or not an easy thing to do, but visualizing God being that place of safety, that protection that's around you. And as you do that, you'll find yourself able to cope with things because you can face those emotions knowing that the memories aren't going to hurt you, that the stress of what you're worried about isn't going to ruin you. So again, today, facing the emotion, facing the memory, having the courage to do that and to articulate and acknowledge it, and finding a place of safety, knowing that you're protected, knowing that you're going to be okay. God bless you.
Thank you for joining us for this week's Mental Health Monday with Pastor Dan Harrison. Remember, you don't have to escape your pain. You can face it, process it, and find safety in God's presence. If you're struggling, please don't go through it alone. Seek help, talk to someone you trust, and take that step toward healing. We encourage you to find a local church where you can connect and grow in community. And if you're near Ravenna, Ohio, we'd love to welcome you at Ravenna Assembly. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more encouragement and practical insight from Pastor Dan. And join us again next Monday for the next episode of Mental Health Monday.